kids, Inverted Cal here. Welcome back to Empyrion version 6. Yeah, we've been playing around with the version 6 on the old multiplayer server. We fired it up the other day, and I did a kind of a really crazy thing. I marathon played for about 14 or so hours straight, followed by another 10 hours shortly on top of that. I'm going to say I've got a bit of an understanding of the way things are and work. So I'm going to go through a few things that I have learned and sort of pick up where I am. And I'm going to apologize that none of you saw me landing on the planet and crashing and scratching a survival out and dying 139 times or anything like that. But you know, hey, it's okay. I'm established now, sort of. So, here's some of the things that I have learned. Since I'm in drone mode, I will explain this one first. If you're using your drone and you happen to be exploring a little cubby hole or something and a turret shoots your drone will explode. You'll go back to this mode and you will not be able to launch another drone, and that turret, wherever it is, will sit there and continuously shoot your drone until it finally explodes, usually about 5 or 10 minutes later. If you have a small vessel, say parked just on the other side of the wall, and that turret is shooting and your small vessel's on the other side of the wall, your small vessel will take damage. Even though you do not have a line of fire from the turret to your small vessel, it will take damage. I've had that happen a couple of times. Now, as you can see, I'm in a bit of a concrete bunker base. It's literally, that's all it is, just a concrete bunker. And I will go over that with you in a minute. But we're going to talk about some of the things. First off, the dreaded heat radiation issue. You'll notice my heat is set at 22 degrees. I come directly beside the generator and my heat goes up. Not a big deal. Walk away and it returns. Okay. Fuel tanks. They've changed the way the user interface and everything. It's a little bit nicer. I like the fact there's one tank and it fills. Alright. Same with oxygen. But there is a problem with oxygen, and I found it recently, and I really had to struggle with it until I figured out what it was. As long as you have a full tank of oxygen, you can refill yourself at an oxygen station. Right? Take a puff at the O2 station, boom, no problem. The oxygen tank will go down an appropriate amount. As you can see, 200 units. If for some reason you are just under that 200 unit mark, or 200 units or less actually, so if you have 200 units or less and you try to fill yourself, it will consume those 200 units and you will not fill. Always check your tank and make sure it's refilled before getting oxygen, otherwise you will have annoyance. The medical station. Used to be, you just jump on the medical station and it would make this lovely little buzz sound, and you could camp here and walk away, go AFK, and even if you started starving to death or freezing or suffocating, you would be able to be AFK on the medic station. You'll notice that it did not make a noise. That's right. You can't do that anymore. You want medic, you have to click it. Food processor. This is a neat thing. It will actually keep food fresh in the food processor now. So if you load perishables into the food processor, you don't got to worry that they're going to rot while you're off doing other things. That's a good and or bad thing, because if your power goes out, your food processor shuts off, your food rots. Armor. Everybody thinks armor is just single purpose, use it for everything and that's it. Well, it's not. The armor I'm currently wearing is a piece of heavy armor, and I have configured it for basically for mobility. This is my get around and do everything armor. I've got a jetpack boost on there. I've put a mobility boost on there. I've got a couple of these multi-boosts which give me a little bit of armor factor because everything changes what your ratings are. But these also give me a little bit of everything boost. They just a little everything just to help out. This actually gives me the ability to jump like you did in version 5, run around, do whatever I have to do. Now, I'll show you, actually I'll run up and I'll show you my armor here, and then I'll come back down and I'll show you the rest of this stuff. So I'll be right back. I'm here at my small vessel storage locker for my other armors. The next armor I have is what I call my combat armor. And literally, I've got a mobility boost, well, 2 mobility boosts, and that's simply because I haven't found a 3rd armor boost, but 2 mobility boosts and 2 armor boosts. It's increased its armor rating up substantially. It hasn't affected its protection against temperature or radiation, but it does use a lot more power to jump and a lot more power to walk, and you get hungry faster wearing this unit. However, you can take a little bit more damage, actually substantially more damage. In fact, as you can see, it's been substantially damaged already, and that's from me just going toe-to-toe with hostiles on the planet. Now, the third thing of armor I have made is my space armor. You will notice that it changed the comfort zone to minus 218 degrees Celsius. I had a little problem in space. I died about 25 times fixing it. Wearing the wrong type of armor in space is instant death. That's not a joke. You have about, well, basically your health bar goes down by 25 every couple of seconds. So you just start, so the longer your health is, the better you're doing. But I mean, if you're trying to recover your backpack and you've got to fly 150 meters, you're not going to fly 200. 300 meters, you might be dead before you even get close. So depending on the armor you're wearing. However, when I'm wearing this armor, I can literally work in space unaffected. I don't even know I'm there. And that's basically, I've got 3 EVA boosts, which have a cold rating of 60. So they each stack 60 degrees onto the thing. Okay. And then I put a multi-boost on there, which gives me a little bit of a bonus on everything. And if you have no armor on, as you can hear, you take damage, poison, radiation, whatever. So make sure you have your equipment, your armor's equipped. Now I'm going to run back downstairs. I'll show you some more things. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back downstairs again. I'm going to introduce you to a couple other pieces of equipment that I have uncovered. The repair station, for example. If you have damaged equipment, which, for example, this drill, and you throw it in here, you click repair, it zaps it back up. But every time you repair it, your overall durability does not increase to maximum. It always comes up a little bit short. So eventually you'll get to the point where you can fix it all you want, but it's not going to fix more. It's not going to repair fully. So keep that in mind. Tools will wear out. I encountered this epic shotgun, and it was already quite near the bottom when I found it. I repaired it once. Of course, its durability is 288. It will wear out. So keep that in mind. If you use a tool repeatedly, it will wear out and it will destroy. Level 2 weapons, for example, the assault rifle, projectile pistol, that kind of thing, can only be crafted with weapon upgrade kits. Now you'll have to find these as you explore POIs and whatnot, or actually purchase them. Keep that in mind. If you want nicer guns, you've got to get the gear to actually make them. Otherwise, you're not making them. Also, most furnishings, or most of the things that were just random bland furnishings, for example, your bed, now have function. If you click on the bed, it recovers your stamina. This also apparently is true for things like couches and whatnot. Tech equipment. I don't know if there's anything on this device because it's all still saying not functional yet. But that indicates that there are actually functions coming to some of these devices. Medical equipment, however, some of it actually is functional. For example, the scanner heals freezing, heat stroke, radiation sickness, and poisoning. The scanner 2 is good for alien parasites. Scanner 1 is broken legs and open wounds. Scanner 4 is food poisoning and poison bite. And I believe I saw one other one here, I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Oh, I think that was it. There was just those. And the deco capacitor is not functional yet. So this is another one. This one is, like I said, it looks like it's something they're planning on having actually do something. So these might actually become useful. And I've noticed they're also placeable on now small vessel and hover vessel. These ones, however, are strictly capital vessels and bases. So this was not before placeable on the small vessel and hover vessel, but it is. So that tells me that there is an energy thing it's actually planning on putting into that. I'll throw these back in here because I'm not going to carry them. Plants. If you decide to make a garden, some plants, theoretically, some plants grow outdoors. I tried planting stuff outside, and this is my bunker basement. As you'll notice, it is very underground. And I have a double shutter door airlock. I tried planting some plants outside that were indigenous to the planet, and they died pretty much instantly. I'm guessing they're not just indigenous to the planet, but biome specific. So if you want to plant them outdoors where the biome is. Emergency generators for oxygen. This is something you're probably going to want to make sure you keep going, especially on a non-oxygen planet. I know they're not new, but they are something you want to keep yourself in mind of. The cockpits have all been changed and modified. There's a new graphics in them. They look nicer. The weapons change their positioning. I don't know if you can alter them. Lighting is improved. Yes, your headlight only now does substantially better lighting, but your sunrises, your star fields, your skybox, everything is beautifully rendered now. That's one thing. Something else I've been having problems with. Now this is something I'm guessing is just because they've just realistically they've just changed a large chunk of the code and they haven't worked it all out yet. But sometimes flying through the green barrier will cause your ship to glitch as soon as you step out of the ship. Step out of your ship, power it off, and turn you away from it or give it a couple of seconds and it resets to a whole new location. Now Now I know this isn't some grand, beautiful flying vessel of doom, but it's functional. It does its job. All right, something else in the P menu on your small craft has completely changed, including your new signal logic that everybody's looking forward to playing with. My statistics are not showing correctly anymore, again, but that could just be because I've got my thrusters off. I haven't really looked. Devices, of course, yes, you can still group your devices. That's why you're not in the right group. Add this to its group and add to group thrusters 1. There are some things that are very, like, they changed the user interface, and I'm not too keen on it. For example, the toggles are these ugly button things now that look like they're from early 1980s, rather than those nice, neat buttons they had and tabs that they had previous. Kind of hoping that those come back. Your hotbar menu, this is nicer. I like the fact that it's all at the top, but yeah. Of course, your name is here now. Your faction name, if you want to change to private or public. However, you can now manage from your cockpit in your P menu, right on the header bar, your fuel and oxygen levels. This is, I'm guessing, your ship's health overall. As you can see, it has taken some damage, and yes, I have been in combat with this a few times. That's all changed. Now we're going to jump out of this small vessel here. Actually, let's just bring up the map. One of the other things that you have the ability to do that I am really liking is you can highlight things and add a temporary waypoint that literally removes when you get there. Now, I don't know if I can get my space map up. MK is markers, of course. This is handy, especially in space. This is where I used it the most. I did some fly-arounds in space, and I found some asteroids in space, and I was able to actually mark them. This was something that I have wanted for quite some time, is you can very quickly highlight where resources and space stations and other debris that you show up on your scanners when you're flying in space is, and therefore if you decide you want to go and attack it or deal with it, or you need to get a capital vessel over and go and take it out, it makes it a lot easier to actually track that kind of stuff. And then of course you can still delete these shortly after you've used them. Now I am gearing up to finish attacking this abandoned factory. I started this the other day, and then I realized, you know, I haven't recorded anything. I'm going to finish attacking this on the next episode, and I want to actually start working on building an actual capital vessel. That's kind of the plan for today. So I'm going to go and I'll take that on and I'll deal with that. But one other thing here, you'll notice that I am dug into a hillside. In fact, there is no no decoration outside of the hillside except for this one player turret and a little bit of concrete that it's mounted to. And without a mobility armor, you're not getting up here. If you have plants that die, you can actually use them as decorations. This is something I found that was really neat. You could actually pick them up, and place them on your capital vessel or base as an actual decoration. Which makes it nice. I mean, you can actually add camouflage or whatever to underground pathways or whatever that you have. Just put some dead plants on. It's like, oh yeah, here's a walkway and it's covered over. I still wish they would deal with the fact that when you fill with the tier 2 drill, that it would actually cause the terrain to maintain its color and not just turn all gray. I'm not sure if you can actually color that or not, but it really, to me, this is really something that I'd love to see fixed, that it would actually continue to use the mapping for the original, and I would actually just redraw new mapping on it. But that's another game feature that has to be worked on, I guess. So there we have it, kids. Thanks all for watching. This has been Vertical. We're on version 6. I will pick it up on the next episode when we go and have a word with that abandoned factory and see if we can actually do some damage to it. I really do want to take that down because I want those blocks to start building a capital vessel, and I am a long way away from it, as you know by the deaths here, 139 of which this planet is very hostile. This is the mercenary difficulty planet on the setting that they had. I don't know what scenario it is, but yeah, it's hard. Oh, also, the reason that I am bunkered in here is, if you'll notice, it says capital ships. Somewhere on this planet, probably flying around in the valley just over here, I think, not this one. I think it's this one. Yes, somewhere flying around in this valley. It's actually glitching into the mountainside, but there is this capital vessel that occasionally will unglitch from the mountainside or unglitch from the mountainside over here and will attack you. Other players on the server they started by taking over a POI like this logistics center, and the capital vessel decided to come up and attack them. It was on their trade, it was on its route, it was patrolling around. It came up and attacked them, and they died quite substantially. It was very, very funny listening to for about 6 hours of them fighting this capital vessel with starter weaponry, whatever they could scrounge, whatever they could build, trying to bunker in and defend this base as it completely destroyed them and ripped them apart repeatedly. Yeah, stay away from the on-planet CVs unless you're ready to actually combat them. So you have to do the Minecraft thing. Find a hillside, bunker in deep. I'm actually underneath that mountainside. Where that turret is the forwardmost outside limit of my base. From there, back and down about 60 meters, and it's literally down from here, but you go straight down is my base, and it's a concrete bunker. If you ever get a radiation storm, in fact, radiation fogs are something I've had on this planet a few times. Get into that bunker underground, and you are protected from radiation. I actually go from plus 20 some odd radiations to 0, which is really, really nice. I haven't hooked up ventilation or air or any of the other stuff, and I haven't done any interior gardening. However, gardening is something that you may want to consider. However, this planet has lots of fruit, which is my primary source. Food! That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Yes, I know I have said I'm going to go away, but I changed my mind. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. It's another drone. come out of view. Food. That was the last thing I wanted to talk to you about. Food now has additional statistics. For example, oranges decrease your body temperature by -3 degrees, which, if you're running around on a beautiful, hot, sunny planet and you start chowing down on space oranges, you'll notice your body temperature has dropped a couple degrees. It's plus 53 degrees Celsius, and I'm sitting at a comfortable 25 in my space armor, but my body temperature went down to 51 just by eating a couple of these oranges. Some of the other foods, for example, coffee, will increase your body temperature. So if you're running around on an ice planet, hot cups of coffee are going to be your best friend. They increase your stamina, but also your health. Pizza, and I'm going to run back down to my food processor. Okay, we're at the food processor. Some foods I've noticed, for example, pizza was one, I believe. It increases your body temperature by 5. So eat a pizza and your body temperature goes up, you'll warm up. Coffee is another one. Certain things like canned veggies and such have no change. They haven't changed at all. The veggie burger gives you body temperature increases. So basically anything cooked, looks like. Body temperature 2. The cookie has no difference. Fruit pie has no difference. And the stew helps you go up by 2. So it looks like it's just the oranges that actually decrease your temperature. So that's something else to keep in mind, especially if you're running around on a planet and are affected by temperatures. You don't have the proper temperature. Still fairly low, you're just scrounging for food. Running around in basic armor with no upgrades on it is dangerous. It's possible, but it is dangerous, so keep that in mind also. Overall, I'm really liking a lot of the changes I have encountered. Like I said, I mean, the skybox is beautiful, absolutely beautiful now, and the weather effects are very nice. But that's going to do it for today. So once again, thanks all for watching, kids. I'll see you on the next episode where we go and try and deal with that POI and start getting our stuff together to try to get out of sector. We're going to go into space next. Next episode we'll do the POI, then after that we're going to go into space. We're going to take care of some space business, and we'll start building a capital vessel. So thanks all for watching, and good night for now.